interim payment certificates that were issued. And we have successfully negotiated with them to resume work, and work is ongoing at some of our contracts or railway lines. It is our belief that when they are completed, they will be functioning and they will generate revenue to pay for itself.
Minister.
I beg your pardon. I was a bit distracted. Can you please go over what you said?
So I should repeat for your not listening to me.
Minister, it's not funny because we had a case here that we were dealing with. Respectfully, I would want to ask another question, but maybe you have asked already. So it is not to repeat for me not listening. Repeat that I follow up with a question, because we were also, as we sit here, there are lots of things we do. And so you pardon me. That's why I said, pardon me. Can you repeat? That's exactly what I said.
For us to have the railway system back to its glory days, it should be functioning. And that is why we took the pain or the opportunity to engage the contractors who abandon sites and ensure that we give them the promise that they deserve to be able to continue with their construction. And when they are done with their work, we will have a functioning rail system that will be able to connect people, make some revenue, and function once again.
So you're trying to say that that is the only way, that until the contractors finish, and then you have a functioning railway system. But there are other management issues that I believe you should look at. So it's not just about the hard bit, but the soft bit also needs to be looked at, and maybe your leadership and your guidance will be needed in that regard.
Definitely, Chair. We need to have an efficient and a well-functioning rail system. And whilst you cannot talk of the efficiency now because there's no any system to work with and determine somebody's efficiency, we feel that when we're able to get the tracks working, we'll be able to now monitor on daily basis the activities of our workers. That will bring about improvement. So certainly we are going to look at everybody's performance, including ourselves. And we believe that when we get the tracks back working or functioning, the rail system will come back to its glory days.
Thank you, Chair. Minister, you are my very good friend, but I just want to set the record straight. For the 2023-2022 accounts we are considering, this is a company that made a surplus of 730 million in 2023, made a surplus of 759 million in 2022. And Pakadan was inaugurated in November 2024. And for a company to have churned out a surplus of 730 million, this cannot be seen to be a company that is in shambles. So that is just to set the record straight. And then again, if you look at the ratios are not so bad. And this is as of 2023. So when we are looking at the records must stand that Ghana Railway Development made a surplus of 730 million as of 2023, and also made a surplus of 759 million as of 2022. So the records are there, and it's clear.
Chair, I'm not sure my colleague listened to me very well. The chair asks about the rail system. That has to do with the entirety of the Ghana Railway Company Limited, Ghana Railway Development Authority. And I can say that there was no any surplus. What you are seeing were contract payments. It is not that they generated revenue to that quantum we are talking of. So maybe you might have, I will let the finance people come in, but it was not any revenue that was generated and having that seated in the account. There were contract payment amounts to contractors That appears there, not like they generated any activity to bring about that money. But I will let my, I will let my counsel
we've asked a
explain
question. Please let's
the
listen to
financial
the
side
answer.
for you.
Thank you, Honorable Boche. Let me explain this. If you look at the income receivables, anything that you see there as revenue is payable to contractor. And when I talk about contractor, as you might be aware, the financial agreement is between the Ministry of Finance and the contractor. So anything that says revenue is either payment of IPCs or advance mobilization from Ministry of Finance to the contractor to do the work. So in 2022, you are looking at revenue of 845,000 out of IPC payments. Okay, and if you are seeing the 845,000 in 2022 compared to 2023, because in 2022, because of the program, we had to front load IPC 5, IPC 6 to our contractors for them to be able to do the work.
Sir,
so,
is it not still revenues that came in to your company?
No.
Is it not monies that came in for you to offload to your contractors? Is that not the case?
It's payment of IPCs to
They did not come in as revenue to you to use to pay, to make payments.
No.
The member was saying that they made profit.
No,
He said-
no,
he was talking
no.
of profit, and that is
Minister,
why we are telling you that.
Respectfully, it is not what the member said. He's made a submission. I'm asking that the monies that came from Ministry of Finance, it came in as revenues for you to use to pay your contractors. Is that not the case?
Yes, it came as interim payment certificate that is paid directly from Ministry of Finance to the contractor.
Yes.
But, let me,
so it is monies that came in.
Yes.
So then the auditors are right in capturing it as revenue. It is right. They are right as capturing it as revenue because there are inflows that came in, whether to use for A, B, C, D. It is to be used for your expenditure. That's it. So I understand. Initially, you got us a bit confused that monies, but I think these are revenues that came in from Ministry of Finance. It's like the budgetary allocation that Ministry of Finance gives to you and then you use to pay. Is that not the case?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Is that the case?
Honorable Chair.
Is that the case, sir?
It is the case.
Okay, then thank you.
If I
let
may,
me ask you
please.
something. Let me ask you something. Madam is talking about revenue.
Yeah.
How much of your operations, how much revenue did you generate from your own operations?
Yes, the IGF generated from Ghana Railway Development Authority as of last year was 5.58 million cedis. So, and this year, we are
talking about 2022 and 2023.
Yes, 2022, we generated revenue of about 2.9 million cedis, and in 2023, we generated roughly about 2.8 million cedis.
So, you see, this is it. The 842 was money from finance for you to pay to the contractors. Your actual operations couldn't have paid for this. So when we are talking about profit over here, auditors, how is that profit? I mean, their own operations, they only made about 2.2 million.
Honorable Chair, in the first place, we want to clarify this. The owner of the account, is always the entity. It's the entity that prepares the account. The auditor will do his work and express opinion on the financial statement. So we did not generate the account, if we have to put it that way. They did. And so I think the question rather should be answered by identify the entity.
Okay, but then this account over here did not show your true operations, because that you got money from finance. Okay, I will let you finish in a minute. Your actual revenue was about 2.2 million. So then your loss would have been, you wouldn't have shown a surplus, you would have shown a loss. So this account was not prepared the way that I think maybe it should have been done.
Thank you, Boche. I will say this. For Ghana Railway Development Authority, as an implementing agency, most of the donor-funded projects are accounted for as revenue receivables, but they are not actual operation generation income. Operation generation income comes from licensing, ground rent, and what I call leases of equipment. So as alluded in the report, and per the directive of the Ministry of Railway Development, which was used as a basis of calculating, of which the Auditor General picks it up, any payment from Ministry of Finance to our contractor is deemed as a revenue to us as the authority. But if you also look at it, we are looking at the Western region. That is where we are spending most of the time. And for example, for the donor-funded project that we are looking at Western region, the fiscal progress is 15.01%, compared to 39.9% of the financial progress in terms of money releases. So typically, our operations, RGF, is about, on average, is about 4 million a year. This year is where we've managed to generate over 13.5 million cedis. But our operation doesn't go beyond that. So if you see this as revenue, of course, it's because of the money released to the authority. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, I am a bit concerned about the accounts that they showed to the auditors. He mentioned that their actual IGF was 2 point something, and then all the other, but he did not mention the other incomes that they also received in 2022. In 2022, I see 15.3 million as other income, and then in 2023, I see 91.5 as other income. Clearly, what the auditors just said, it is what your financial statements that they looked at and gave an opinion on. And so what you are also sitting here saying and what is here and the final results, your final position, does not sit well with us. And clearly I can say that this was not prepared, did not give a true and fair view of happenings at Ghana Railway. And Minister, it is not just about putting the infrastructure in place. If you don't open your eyes, if you don't really look at things properly, you will do that and you will still not achieve the objective for which you invested so much money in. Because clearly, the accounts here and what he's telling us and the position of the auditors are completely different.
Thank you, Chair. And it will tell you the reasons why the Railway Ministry was closed and merged with the Ministry of Transport because of some of these behaviors that took place in the past. And you can even look from the accounts that we are presenting that things will not be as usual, and we are going to ensure that when we have a functioning system, equally we will put the checks and balances to ensure that things are done and done properly. I thank you.
Honorable Minister, so with these accounts, what has been revealed over here, it means that then you were right by saying that the place was in a mess. Because, I mean, making 2.2 million in revenue, and what they are showing as revenue was money given to them by Finance, Ministry of Finance, to pay contractors. So you were right, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Rankin.
Thank you.
Chair, Minister, looking at the position of the account, I can tell that this is misleading public officers. They are misleading us, and then they are not being truthful to us. And that alone is a criminal thing. I would say it is a criminal, and then it is a criminal offense, and then we need to look at this because the presentation and everything is just misleading public officers like us.
Hold on. The auditors will have to come. Yes, please.
Thank you, Chair. Minister and CEO, I would like to find out that the finance officers who prepared this account, do you still have some of them with your organization? And whether we have some of them in this room?
No, you know, the ministries were realigned. So some of the workers were moved to other ministries. So you have a case where the chief director has moved to a different place. Some of the workers are moved to other ministries. So we don't necessarily have all of them in the Ministry of Transport.
Auditors, I will appeal to you that you look at their financials properly again, because what they have together is not what we have in the report. That it doesn't. What they are showing, it doesn't reflect the true situation that is going on over there. Because anybody who picks it up, how? Railways, they made $730 million profit. Whilst they can't even pay their workers, and that's not the true picture.
Yes. Honorable Chair, maybe we would have to look at the detailed account, but under IPSAS, when you are preparing the accounts, GOG subvention will be captured under revenue. The detailed account will give you the revenue streams so that you'll be able to tell the one that they generated themselves as an entity and the one that is coming from government. You see, so with that, we'll be able to give a better. It's possible that per the accounts, it was captured under revenue, and they were maybe preparing the accounts under modified cash basis. That is when you receive and then you spend. In this case, they received the monies for projects to pay for to pay contractors. So if it is cash basis, you would have expensed it out of the expenditure column. So what comes in will go through the expenditure. So it will come through as a revenue, and then it will go out as an expenditure. So we may have to look at all of this to be able to ascertain whether the accounts has not been done well, or it's just that we are not being able to give a better explanation because the details are not here. Thank you.
Minister, that is all from your ministry, right? Okay.
Yes, Chair.
So, is this suggesting that you received 813, and then because you had a surplus of 730 million, you did not pay all the projects or the contractors as you were supposed to pay, because you said the monies that came in was for payments to contractors, and you still had a surplus of 730. Is it indicating that you did not utilize all the monies that were given to you? Well, 1 minute. This is not for you. I'm asking the auditors. So if they come and they claim a revenue of 1,813 million was given, and in the surplus you see 730, which does not correspond with any other huge income, and the revenue was for payments to contractors, would it presuppose that contractors were not paid? The 730 indicates that the monies for the contractors were still sitting in the books.
substantially, that is what it is.
So, Minister, that is all from your outfit, right?
Yes, Chair.
Minister, you are discharged.
Thank you.
Now we call Minister of Finance. Clerk, could you make sure that you swear in anybody? Could you make sure you administer the oath to those who will be answering questions?
Hey, Chief, how are we? Good, good, good. No, I think it was BBC or so. It's probably a press.
I
I, Thomas Sampson,
swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue
touching the matter in issue
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, we'll call Siga first. Is that Siga seated? Okay. Honorable Minister, could you introduce yourself and your delegation, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Thomas Ampim, the Deputy Minister.
Honorable Chair, my name is Patrick Nomo, Chief Director at the Ministry of Finance.
Honorable Chair, my name is Romeo Jijono Akabutu, Chief Internal Auditor.
Honorable Chair, my name is Michael Pesawite, the Acting Director General of SIGA.
Honorable Chair, my name is Samuel Obin Ankoma, Acting General Manager, FNA.
Honorable Chair, my name is Zachary Alassan, Acting Head of Finance. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, my name is Brigitte Nusin, Acting Head of Legal.
Thank you very much. We'll be reviewing your financial performance, and Honorable Dr. Jassa will handle that from paragraph 432.
Okay, so thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and welcome. Looking at your financial statement, I think the performance between, okay, so this one is 2023 and 2024, actually. And so we notice that your total surplus from the 2023 figure of 4 million has moved in the negative to 18 million. Could you tell us what accounted for this, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, if you look at the report, you see clearly that revenue from non-exchange transactions, which is transfers from the Ministry of Finance to SIGA, dwindled from 23 million to 17 million from 2023 to 2024. And most importantly, grants and donations also reduced significantly from 16 million to 7 million. And so that mainly accounted for the reduction. And it is obvious that we cannot continue to depend on grants and donations. So basically, these are the reasons why you see that the figures from 2023 compared to 2024 reduced significantly. But I will allow SIGA to give more details if they have. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Within the period also, I think SIGA undertook a very, very important national assignment by producing, I believe, 2 of the state ownership reports, the one for 2022 and then the one for 2023 within the same period. And that also accounted for that particular phenomena. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So a deterioration of 552% is clearly huge, and I hear the minister. But what can we do? You say clearly that's not a path to take. Do you have any ideas, any innovations coming up?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the main source of revenue to SIGA, apart from the transfers from the center to them, is a percentage of dividend from dividends that state-owned enterprises will pay to the state. It is up to, I think, 5%. Most of state institutions were making losses, and so they did not get that percentage. We are working hard to turn around and make sure that state-owned enterprises make profit. When they make profit and pay dividends to the state, we will also pay 5% to SIGA to enhance their operations, and their revenue will go up. There is hope. As at second quarter, the report we received from them indicate that a number of state-owned enterprises are beginning to turn around. And so we are hoping that there will be profit declared by a number of them at the end of this year and dividends paid, and then we will also transfer some to them to show that their revenues go up. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Chair, at the same time, your total expenditure increased by 24.5%. You have these dwindling incomes and inflows, and yet your expenditure ballooned by 24%, and this was largely owing to goods and services. What kind of goods did you purchase to the extent that you have this overrun?
Thank you, Chairman. As a ministry, we support you. This question goes to the core of the challenge, that when you are making profit, it makes sense that you spend. There should be a direct relationship between your expenditure and the revenue you make. But when you are not making the revenue and you are also not constraining expenditure, your revenues are dwindling, but your expenditure goes up, it only widens the deficit. And so I agree with you. This is a question I want them to answer directly. Why they spent more even when they were not making more. I know that it is not them, they inherited it, but they need to answer it and make sure that they don't repeat the wrong things. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So SIGA, by its nature, is expected to perform some very critical national assignments. One of them is, as I mentioned earlier, the production of the state ownership reports, which, as it were, involves some critical scrutiny and analysis of the financial and non-financial performance of the state-owned enterprises, especially those that have signed performance contracts. And here I should say it goes even beyond state-owned enterprises to include others that are classified as other state entities. Now, the efforts involved and activities involved in producing the state ownership reports are quite intense and involves a lot of costs. That's, for the most part, accounted for much of the expenditure within that period of time. These are voluminous documents that touches on almost all the state-owned enterprises, joint venture companies, and other institutions in the country. So even though you may have seen that goods and services have gone up, they have gone up in response to statutory duties. And that is the reason why SIGA needs to be supported a lot more financially so as to be able to perform these functions effectively and efficiently. Thank you, sir.
I have a final question. Professor White, I've worked with you. I know how diligent you are. This is clearly unacceptable. And so what assurance do you have for the country that this kind of unguarded expenditure lines will not be repeated? What steps do you have in place to make sure that we can protect the public finances going forward?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the question. I think that protecting the public purse, as it were, is of extreme importance to SIGA, especially if you look at the core mandate of SIGA, which is to oversight the state-owned enterprises and make sure that they are run effectively, efficiently, and make profit and pay dividend. And to the extent that our own resources derive their source from the dividends, we are quite keen on. Now, in the particular year that we are looking at, it is because two state ownership reports were produced simultaneously, and that's ballooned the cost. We have just finished producing the state ownership report for 2024, and I mean, because it is one, I think the cost is manageable. We are keen on making sure that we demonstrate prudence in our spending so as to provide basis for giving us whatever resources we need to ensure that we perform those statutory duties of having an effective and efficient oversight. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, that will be all, Honorable Chair.
Go ahead, sir.
Under your financial performance, I'm seeing a decline in your employee compensation by 14%. Is it the case that some employees were laid off or what?
Thank you very much. I'm very happy you ask. And the reason I'm happy you ask is because the staff attrition rate at SIGA is quite high, largely because of what I would describe as not too good conditions of service for our staff. And because our staff interface a lot with almost all institutions by way of going on the field to do monitoring and evaluation, people see the caliber of individuals at SIGA and poach them. So you send your staff to go and do monitoring on behalf of the state, and then another state says, wait a minute, how much are you being paid at where you are? Can you make a decision and move to our side, and then we'll pay you better? And so the staff are leaving. In fact, even Parliament poached one of our staff. So if we improve the conditions of service of SIGA staff, we will keep them, and the attrition will stop, and that is what accounted for the decline in the compensation. Thank you.
Create better conditions for them and make sure you stay them. You let them stay.
We are we are actively working at that, and we believe that with your support, we will create a much, much better condition for them.
Okay. The next infraction is on paragraph 441, and Honorable Payto will take care of that one, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Prof, this is about
I'm sorry, just a little bit of correction. The first one was just a financial statement. It wasn't an infraction. It's now that we are going to the infraction. So, Honorable, go ahead, please.
So, Prof, this is about a long overdue rent receivable, total amount of 748,984. The auditors were saying that that amount has not been corrected from 4 institutions occupied your, property. And so they recommended that the management should take steps, including legal action, to recover the overdue rent of such an amount. First, I want to know whether the money has been paid. And then 2, has the legal action been commenced? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and thank you very much, Honorable. So the 4 institutions in question are Ghana Employers Association. They made some payment. They paid 63,531 out of the 86,517 that was observed in the audit reports. 22,985 is outstanding, and the reason is because there is a little bit of disputes about the exact amount. So we are in conversations with them to reconcile, if possible, and make sure that whatever balance is left is cleared accordingly. The second institution that owed rent to SIGA is a company called Snyder. And Snyder, as at the time, I believe the indication was that they were owing around 400 and something thousand. But my understanding is that based on rent evaluation by rent control, the 50% discount was given to them. And so they had come to pay 228,600 as at February 15th, 2025, based on follow-ups that SIGA had made. There is an outstanding balance of 9,000 yet to be paid. And that 9,000 is so because, the amount quoted to them, I believe it was in an error, excluded that 9,000. And so we are in conversations again with them to ensure that that 9,000 is paid to close the books on them. The third is fair wages and salaries for occupying the SIGA building at some point in time. And they owe 184,859 Ghana cedis, 77 pesos. We have had the opportunity to write several letters to fair wages and salaries. I had the opportunity also of visiting the CEO of Fair Wages and Salaries to have conversations with him. And the agreement was that we should write officially to them because they need to go to the Minister of Finance for the necessary action to be taken. We did write to them as of 20th of October. We had written to them to make sure that they honor this particular debt obligation. The last one of the 4 is the Ministry of Energy, now Ministry of Energy and Green Transitions. At some point, there was an agreement where a project hosted by the ministry occupied part of the SIGA building with the understanding that the ministry will provide solar for SIGA's operations. Unfortunately, that particular agreement was not honored. And so the period within which they occupied the facility was converted into rent, which came to 230,406. 230,406. There hasn't been any payments. We have written several letters. We have had conversations with officials there. The last letter we wrote to them was on the 20th of October, 2025. I am arranging to meet with the minister, who I believe probably might have not been abreast with this particular issue yet. And hopefully when that is done, we will make sure that they also do the needful. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
So it means the legal action has not been taken yet.
So if there's going to be a legal action, it will be in respect of Ghana Employers Association and Snyder, both of whom have made payments. The other two organizations, Fair Wages and Ministry of Energy, are government institutions that we have very good and collaborative relationship with. If we're going to take legal action against them, we're going to ask the Attorney General to institute a legal action against entities of which he will be the defending party himself. But we haven't instituted any legal action. And I should also say that our board was introduced not too long, inaugurated not too long ago. A matter of this nature, before you take a legal action, you have to go to the board to make sure that the board approves it. Thank you, sir.
Take a last question, then I hand over to the chairman. According to the report, these people vacated the building since 2020. And then effort has not been made to correct this revenue till the date that we are talking about it. I want some clarity from you as you sit down right here telling the commission. Would you give an assurance that within a short time frame, this money can be collected to the state?
Thank you very much. I think your question is in two parts. And the first part, I see it as a commendation of our efforts so far. These amounts have been outstanding from, years past. SIGA has been in existence for the past 5 years, right? And within a matter of 7-8 months, we've been able to get two of the entities to make payments right away. And the other two, one is a ministry, the other is Fair Wages. Definitely, they have been very receptive to our letters and demands, and we have been having conversations. I can give you an assurance that based on the conversations we've had and the assurances they themselves have given, we will recover this money sooner than later, sir.
Will you confirm any payment so far received? Then we hand over to them.
Honorable Chair, we can confirm the recovery of 63,531.21 from the Ghana Employers Association.
Please, you can take up.
Thank you very much. So you are recovering these amounts, right?
Yes, Chair.
All right. Auditors, keep an eye on it, and let's make sure they recover these amounts. SIGA, you are discharged. Now let's call Minerals Income Investment Fund. Okay, Minerals Income and Investment Fund. Have you taken the oath? Has the oath been administered to you? You haven't? Okay, then let them take the oath, please. But I thought you would. Okay, all those under Ministry of Finance who are going to speak to these infractions, please get up and then they will administer the oath. So we are starting with MIF and then all the others who will answer questions, please. We have National Insurance Commission. Are you here? What about venture capital? Did you guys take did you take the oath? You didn't, then you should come and join them. National Lotteries, are you here? They have taken it. Okay, so then it's venture capital. What about Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund? Are you here? Okay, clerk, administer the oath, please.
No, financial intelligence and internal.
Hey, we have also Internal Audit Agency and then Financial Intelligence Center.
I. Can you say that? I,
Martin Ajay,
swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue
touching the matter in the issue
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
and
nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, Honorable Minister, Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund is not here. And Internal Audit Agency is not here. Oh, it's here. But what about Financial Intelligence Center? Oh, you are here. Did you take part in the oath? Okay, and which one? National Insurance Commission. Are they here? Minister, it means when we call them, you may have to come back with them.
Mr. Chairman, please, for my education, are you inviting those who do not have infractions to also appear?
Anybody whose name is in the book.
Okay.
Yes. You see, what we are doing is also looking at the financial performance. Yes. Okay, now let's go to Minerals Income Investment Fund. And we'll start with Honorable Akwesi Kunedu with the financials.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, we'll start with the statement of our financial performance. First on the item that I would like to ask to have a consideration of is your gold trade income. That is the first line item on that table. For 2022, you recorded 0 there. But in 2023, there was about 8 million Ghana cedis. What accounted for that? Now you had a 0 in 2022, but in 2023, you had 8 million Ghana cedis as a income coming from gold trade.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. For 2022, then the gold trade has not started with MIF. So in 2023, MIF piloted with some aggregators. And the aggregators were 5. No, the aggregators were 3. Then in 2024, increased to 5. And this is what accounted for the 8 million in there recorded.
You seem to have also sharply reduced in your mineral royalties. Why? From 129 to 64. Is it that there are some that are still in arrears to be collected? Or it's just that portions of wherever you may have been receiving from has been off-let to go?
Thank you. In 2023, the mineral royalties came in, but there were some that were in arrears, which, of course, the auditors picked those up, and those has also been collected. However, the collection as at that time was what was recorded in there, but as we speak now, the figures has changed, and it has even improved. Thank you.
Oh, okay. What constitutes other income for MIF?
What constitutes other income for MIF is we have the investment wing, as well as any other that would come in for us. So with the investment wing, it constitutes other income. We also have the equity, but however, we have not started having anything coming in at all. So that is what accounts in there.
I asked that, but if you say you have investment wing, on the statement of financial performance, you have investment income separate from other incomes. Investment income was 69 in 2022 and increased to 198, so that is different. So in the other income, there was none for the previous year, that is 2022. But in 2023, that was 44 million. That is why I asked that specifically. So if you talk about the investment when contributing to that, the figures don't speak to that. So if you can elaborate for us.
Right. In the financials as well, there's reference to the exchange gains over the period. So over the period, those exchange gains were placed under income. So that is what is recorded in there.
No, that was the exchange gains. Okay, so that is why in 2023 you don't have any exchange losses in there. So all of that was an exchange gain. Wow. And goods and services. The more you receive, the more you spend. The minister told me when you are receiving, it means you ought to be spending. So probably you just have to live it that way. But you are reducing in your current ratio. It means you are accumulating a lot of liability as against your current assets. So I think you probably ought to be watching that so that you don't fall into the trap of non-liquidity. So whatever you are accumulating in terms of liability, try as much as possible. Or if you need to increase your current assets, that will be fine, so that at least you would have that. Chairman, with that,
Very
I
well
think
noted, please. Thank you.
their financials are okay.
All right, thank you very much. Madam, we have to, if I could, I forgot about this. You need to introduce yourself. So you'll be identified on air, and then Hansard also would do that. So if you could please introduce yourself.
Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, my name is Justina Nelson, CEO, acting CEO of Minerals Income Investment Fund.
Mr. Chairman, my name is...
Speak through the microphone. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, my name is David Ewa Mensah, acting Chief Finance Officer of Minerals Income Investment Fund.
Mr. Chairman, please, my name is Martin Ajay, Director Internal Audit.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Theresa JC Entry. I'm the Head of Procurement as Minerals Income Investment Fund.
Good afternoon. My name is Louisa Kweku, Head of Legal, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. Now that you've introduced yourself, what about the unpaid royalties of 29 million? You were to recover that.
Yes, Mr. Chair. As we stand now, those monies have been recovered. We gave a schedule out in 2024, 2025, and the auditors can confirm, the bank statements as well can also confirm that those royalties have been collected.
Auditors, could you confirm, please?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that those royalties have been collected. The total amount of 29,225,770.74. Thank you.
Okay, the next infraction is on paragraph 461. It's unaccounted payment of 39,043 cedis.
Honorable Chair, the recommendation was for us to be able to produce the voucher for it and the receipts in respect of what was purchased. So that has also been submitted to the auditors, and they can confirm that they have received the voucher for it. So I'm sure the auditors can do.
All right, then, auditors, do you have all that you need from them on this infraction, unaccounted payment?
Yes, Honorable Chair, the payment has been fully accounted for.
Great. The next infraction is on paragraph 265, and Honorable Alaji Bawa will take care of that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The said infraction on paragraph 465 relates to advance payment above the 15% of the contract sum. And the auditors noted that in 2023, you awarded a contract to Commodity Monitor Limited for the supply of a deployment and installation of a free mercury gold processing plant. And the contract sum was 5,421,900 Ghana cedis. No, dollars, US dollars. So, statutorily, mobilization is normally 15%, but you paid mobilization of, and that would have amounted to 813,285 United States dollars. But you paid an amount of $3,795,330 dollars, representing 70% of the contract sum. So clearly, this is a procurement breach. Do you have any explanations to them? But I know it didn't occur during your time.
Honorable Chair, very well noted. It didn't occur. However, we know this is in clear breach of the regulation, the PFM regulation 113. However, this was a single source that was awarded, and there was an advance payment guarantee, as stated, 70%, as well as a performance bond that was taken. However, the contract was executed to the fullest, and the equipment were supplied. The recommendations of the auditors we've taken very seriously, because we needed to strengthen internal control measures in. So what we have done is to be able to have trainings in there to abreast ourselves with what is expected to be done. Secondly, we have also instituted the compliance department and the full-fledged of a risks department in the fund to assist us, and then also with amendments of the PFM Act as well, we are also expected to submit our procurement plan to the Ministry of Finance, that is our mother body, to be able to look at it. So this put in place in the fund, this will not be repeated to the committee. We can confidently say that.
Madam CEO, so are you telling us that, what's the practice now? I mean, are you now strictly going by the PFM Act?
Yes, sir, we are.
But the recommendation of the auditors was that those officers concerned should be sanctioned. So, I don't know, Chairman, even though the project has been fully completed and the contractor has supplied the equipment as in the contract. So, I don't know what the Chairman will say, whether we still go by the recommendation of the Auditor General or you pardon them.
Auditors, was this contract fulfilled?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
And the system is working okay?
Honorable Chair, we can be able to confirm that in our subsequent audit.
Okay, so please do that. And if it's not working properly, we'll apply the sanctions. If it's working properly, I will tell them to go and sin no more. The next infraction is on paragraph 472, and Honorable Enim will take care of that one.
Thank you, Chair. Chairman, this infraction has to do with procurement breaches again. The auditors noted that management used the RFQ method to procure 2 lots of goods valued at a total of 359,359.88 instead of using the national competitive tendering method. This approach was inappropriate as the procurement values of both transactions exceeded 100,000 approval threshold for the head of entity under the PPA. The auditor's recommendation was that, one, you should always adhere to provisions within the Procurement Act. Then the second recommendation is to the effect that you have to apply the sanctions under Section 92 of the PPA Act. Has these sanctions been applied yet? And then again, I would want to know from management whether you have stopped going through these illegal procurement processes, methods. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We can say that we have stopped the illegal procurements, and we recently even published, upon approval from Ministry of Finance, in the national tendering in the dailies for us to adhere to what is expected of us. But we took the note of the recommendations of the auditors. So what we've done is we've written to the officers in charge, and we can provide the letters where they need be. They have some responses have come in, we will also provide. And because we are a fund and we cannot administer any sanctions yet, we have written to the AG to give us guidance on what to do.
Chair, I think management has complied to the recommendation as stated by the auditors. So.
All right, let's go ahead.
Madam CEO, the first one, the auditors said the machine is working. I think you said that. And the first performance you got was for the performance of the contract, the supply of the equipment. So once the equipment have been supplied, it means that that performance is not needed anymore. But what about warranty? Do you have warranty on the product? Well, the auditors will be coming back to check whether the machines are working effectively or they are performing what they are supposed to do. What I'm asking is that, do you have a warranty on the product?
All right. Mr. Chair, what we have done, every machine, of course, that is purchased would come with some warranties. But we have also, just like I answered, strengthen the internal controls in. So the internal auditor has also traveled to the field to also check, to see, and there are pictures and reports that he has brought back before even the external auditors come in to even check, so that at every step of the way we are monitoring. And that is what we have instituted in the fund.
Public procurement, paragraph 477 on qualified suppliers. About 2-3 years ago, PPA brought a directive that if you want to do business with a government institution, you must register with that agency, the PPA. So the auditors are saying that when they were doing the review of your operations, they found that 3 companies were in your books. In other words, you dealt with them like we gave them contracts, but they were not registered with PPA. The first one was for purchase of MIF corporate souvenirs. The amount was 169,335, and the second one for branded item for mining NDABA, and the third one, amounting to 436,000 156 Ghana cedi. So the recommendation was that your officers involved to be sanctioned under Section 92 of Act 663 as amended. So what have you done so far about it?
Honorable Chair, we admit that per the recommendations of the auditors, this is in contravention of the PPA Section 14, 1 and 2 of the PPA Act. What we've done is in same with what I earlier on answered in the fourth infraction. So we have done that, and they are also part of the letters that we have written so that we can be giving clarity on which sanctions that is supposed to apply to them. However, we also wrote to the officers as well to give clarity. We have also regularized with some of the documents, and so we provided some documents in the subsequent to the auditors, but we would ensure that they get the full documents that is expected.
Auditors also spoke about tax and Senate clearance certificates that were not provided. So have you dealt with that one as well?
Those ones are yet to be submitted. We have the GRA and we have the others, which the certificate of incorporation to commence business and all others. We have ensured that they bring those copies to us, so we will supply it to the auditors, please.
So for education purpose, you know that every procurement you do, those that are coming, they must have a valid Senate or tax clearance, written your name on it, not general one. GRA have stopped using that one. No, don't accept those for general purpose. If it's coming to MIF, it should be specific, please, so that they will go and pay the tax. Thank you.
Very well noted, please.
I'm done. The sanction, the CEO has explained that they haven't sanctioned anybody yet. So, Chairman, I will yield to you to give a ruling. Thank you.
You see, they said in their capacity they cannot. And they've written to AG. So the AG is going to reply to them. Yes. And if the AG doesn't do it, then I will do it. Ah. All right. Okay. Madam Abna Osaya-Sari has a public interest question, right?
Not necessarily. It's not a public interest question, but I must say that I'm really impressed with your answers. You came well prepared. I'm not commending you because you're a woman. I'm commending you because you are competent. You came very well prepared. You know, she quoted the sections. She knew what she had done, what she hadn't done, and what she couldn't do in her capacity. I mean, she went to the next stage of making sure she gives it the relevant bodies to have it done. So I think on this note, I'd like to commend you and then ask that, how do I put it? Ask that you run the company, MIF, with that same mindset, that same competency. And I believe that already you are making profits, but you can do more to support the minister, construct the bypass in my constituency, and all the other things that all Ghanaians also need to make their life better. On page 102, I see the supply, deployment, and installation of mercury-free gold processing equipment. Were you engaged in the gold trade program? And if you were, can you give me some updates on it, please?
Madam Chair, thank you very much for the commendation. We were engaged in the gold trade, and that was the reason why those machines were procured. However, we know with the piloting of the aggregators, 5 aggregators were used for the pilots, and some monies were coming in. But with government regulation and with the coming of the gold board, we needed to be in our mandates, which was given to us by our mother body. So we now have to look at the royalties coming in, ensure that those royalties are given to the state or collected with Bincom and GRA. So that is exactly what is being done. We decided that those aggregators will be ceded off to Gold Board because they are the mother body for them to be able to get the gold coming in and all. And so that has been done. We've written to the aggregators. Those contracts that we were giving to them, where we had some negotiations with them to be able to transition them nicely to gold board. So we are still in the transition stage, but we stopped the gold trade altogether.
Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best and God's blessings as well.
Thank you very much.
Is that you? Yes, Honorable Hinkwa.
Chairman, thank you. I want to take you back on your financial performance. When you look at the expenditure column, 2022, the expenditure was 14 million, and 2023, it jumped with a sharp increase to 29 million. I heard my colleague saying you were earning more, so you were spending more. But to me, I don't think that should be the trajectory. Can you let us know what went into that sharp increase? Ghanaians are watching.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. But the expenditure in the, looking at the general administrative expenses, there are a few things that run through it that formed the expenditure. But thank you for bringing it. We are watching the expenditures as well, and you subsequently, I'm sure that you will not see that again. What really went into it were a few things, that is the training, the conferences, because it's a mining fund. So we needed to go out to be able to get that visibility and also woo people in, and a few things as well. Thank you.
Last question. I think that one. Madam patted you on your shoulders that you have done well. You've shown competency. That is true. But I want to know, at your workplace, what is your working relationship with your subordinates?
Thank you very much. I have a very good working relationship with my subordinates, and they are here to testify. Sometimes when a female comes to the political terrain, there are a few things that it goes round and all those things. Of course, it makes you stronger, and if you're able to handle it well, it also gives you some capacity to be able to do much more. So those were, yes, I admit that there were some social media things that were taken. But of course, that has been addressed, and anyone at all who needs information can come to the fund to verify for themselves, because these are the old staff still in here. Thank you.
Madam, you are discharged. Now let's go to National Development Planning Commission. Are you here? Okay, what about National Insurance Commission? What about venture capital? No, venture. Please introduce yourself to the committee.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Cristiano Tute, Acting Deputy CEO of Venture Capital Trust Fund.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Alex Owusu Champong, the Head of Investment for Venture Capital Trust Fund.
Venture capital, let's see here. Yours is not an infraction. We are going to review your financial performance. And Honorable Seaman will take care of that.
Thank you very much, Chair. Venture capital. So we saw, as I said, according to your financial statement of financial performance, other income from Ministry of Finance for 2023 was 0. In 2022, you got 4,500,000. What accounted for that? Did you have to apply? What accounted for that?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Venture Capital Trust Fund is actually recapitalized by Ministry of Finance and some donations. So we don't really have any dedicated source of funding. So as to when the ministry is ready, they are able to give us what they have. So as at that time, that is what happened. But we've spoken to the current ministry or the minister, and they are very receptive to our plight. So we hope that a lot of things will change as soon as possible. The resetting that the president is talking about was to come down to venture capital as soon as possible with the help of the minister around us. Thank you.
There was a huge dip in other income. 2022 was 29 million, 834, 759. But in 2023, it was just 354,409. What accounted for that, other income? Down by 51%. That's huge.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. In 2022, like my Deputy CEO said, the Venture Capital Trust Fund was recapitalized through the Ghana Economic Transformational Project, the GETP. And the funds that venture capital received came in the form of US dollars, foreign currency. And so the 29 you see there, a chunk of it, about 95%, is exchange gains from the dollars we received through the project. Thank you.
Impairment receivables, 2023, 2,264,293, as against 847. That's huge. Any explanation, please?
Mr. Chairman, can you please repeat the values whilst I...
Impairment of receivables, 2023, 2,264,293. That's 2023. And 2022 was 847,490. Talking about expenditure, the expenditure column.
Oh, okay.
And in terms of percentage, it was 167.2%.
Mr. Chairman, I think this has occurred in the era where almost all of us were not there, but we have taken good note, say that we will really correct whatever went wrong. We will take a good clue from what you are saying. Thank you very much.
Now let's come to your statement of financial position, your balance sheet. There's a dip in your ratio, 58.3.1. No, that actually increased, which is good. Your current liabilities have decreased, which is good. Your current assets increased. Non-current assets also increased, which is good. That's fine. Keep it up. That's all I'll say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and former colleagues.
All right. Venture capital, you are discharged. Now, national lotteries, are you here? Have you taken the oath, please? All right. So you please introduce yourself to the committee.
Chair, my name is Mohammed Abdul Salam, Acting Director General.
I'm Dr. Martin Ameniampon, Director for Finance.
We'll start with your financial performance, and Honorable Frankie Aboa will take care of that one, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And National Lotteries, I'm starting with the financial performance. If you look at the first line, the income, Lotto intake was reduced by 7.3% from 177 million to 164 million. But before you answer that one, I just want to understand something. If we go to your financial direct operating expense, it's also reduced by 7.3%, the same percentage. Is there any correlation between the two? Let me understand that one first before we proceed, please.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, indeed, our intake do have direct relationship with that of the operational expenses. That is, when the LMCs, those who have been mandated to deal with the public on our behalf, since the law doesn't allow the NLA to deal with the public, when they buy the credit from us, they sell to the public. And when they sell, they get commission. And their commissions are based on the amount of sales they will make in a month. Again, we have technical service providers, that they are the interface between the NLA and that of the LMCs. They provide technical services to ensure that when sales are being made through the purchase of the credit for them, we also pay them. Then we have wins, Lotto wins. Largely, we mostly budget for 50% of wins because we cannot determine people's win. So with regards to the commission, the more you sell, the more we pay them commission. So certainly we have direct relationship with that of the direct operation expenses and the intake.
It's fine, don't worry, I've understood it.
Okay,
I'm seeing miscellaneous income. That also increased from 129 million to 137 million. First of all, what's the component of that miscellaneous income?
Okay, thank you, Chair. The miscellaneous income is as a result of other income. You know, NLA, we wear two hats. That is the operation and that of the regulation. But since the regulation, we have deemed it as that of other income. And under that, we do have several forms of other income, and we've categorized them to other income. i.e. is that of the licenses we give you to the private lotto operators and the collaborators out there. So as our intake, the direct operation at NLA is going down, then the miscellaneous income, i.e. monies from the PLOs and co, is also compensating the dip in that of the operating income as a result of the weaknesses in our POS machines and the obsolescence. So the miscellaneous income, we have the collaborators income, the licensing fee, royalties, rent. We have some spaces that we've given out to other people on our compound, especially those who provide the technical services. They also give us some income. So all these are categorized and named as miscellaneous income. Thank you, Chair.
You made a surplus of 2.7, with an improvement of 6.2 over the previous year. So well done. That's okay.
Thank you.
Let's move to your financial position. I'm seeing your current ratio. Even though 2022 one wasn't too good, in 2023 it went down from 0.9 to 1 to 0.6 to 1. And since you are in finance, you understand what that means.
Yes, sir.
There's a possibility that you may not be able to meet your current financial obligations, or short-term financial obligations. So what are you doing about it?
Yeah, since the assumption of the current Director General, in fact, much effort has been made to settle these short-term obligations. You know, sometimes some of the obligations may be materialized drawing close to the end of the year. They need to be transferred or deferred to the current year. And when he came, most of our short-term obligations have been honored, i.e. GRA, SNET, most of them. And currently, we are busy. Thank you.
This one goes to the Director General. I just want you to be candid. The KGL contract that you have, in your own opinion, your candid opinion, is it beneficial to the state or not?
Thank you very much. To answer this question, my position is that the state can gain a lot more from the contract. So there's every reason for it to be renegotiated to bring in more benefit to the state.
Sorry. It's giving more revenue. Okay, it's because I'm looking at selling and distribution. It also went down by 22%. So what are you doing about that one?
Well, currently we have some equipments that are tagged as being obsolete. They have outlived their useful term. So we are arranging to get new POS machines. We are in arrangement with Fidelity Bank to deploy about 5,000 new terminals for the purpose of improving on intake and our sales out there. We believe that in the coming year, that will significantly improve on our operations.
Last one. My last one. Looking at your lotto intake, the income in respect of lotto intake, that went down by 7.3%. What are you doing about it? Because if you look at the illegal lotto operators, what plans have you put in place to ensure that you get all the revenue you want to get?
Thank you very much. Currently, the structure that the PLOs are operating under, it is making it difficult for us to deal with the illegal operators, because these are operators prior to their onboarding were equally operating on the illegal side, some of them. Now, having licensed them, there are people who also operate within the space who are not legalized. So we have entered some arrangement, which we are still seeking to get clarity from the Attorney General, with a coalition of Lotto Writers Association of Ghana, to have all the writers under the registered PLOs registered and be given some form of a sticker, so that when we go out there to participate in the game, we identify the legitimate ones by this sticker when our enforcement agencies also go out, they are able to use these smart devices to scan on the stickers to confirm whether those people are legitimate or not. Once that is done, I believe that it will help the NLA in weeding out some of these illegal operators. There are areas that the NLA has no presence also, and those areas have become fertile grounds for these illegal operators. So with the onboarding of more POS machines, as we weed out the illegal operators, we make available these machines for people to have the opportunity of participating. Thank you.
Validity of a license to an operator. Is it 1 year or more than a year?
Well, according to the regulations, licensing should be renewed annually.
Annually, okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Chairman, thank you very much.
All right, the next, infractions will start from paragraph 535, and Honorable Elekplem will take care of that one.
Thank you, Chair. This is management issues, unremitted withholding taxes. How come you've been able to deduct withholding taxes totaling 1,445,825 from various suppliers and vendors, but you did not remit same to Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Indeed, as at that time, the reason given was due to cash flow. But as I speak with you, all these payments, or all these unremitted monies have been paid. And the second one, with regards to 2023, out of the 3.2, we've paid 1.7, and we've gone to GRA to negotiate for payment plan, and we are accordingly going by the payment plan. For 2022, all have been remitted, all have been paid, and 2023 left with 1.5, and we are paid, and we have evidences of payments, and the payment plan agreed with GRA. They are all here, and receipts of payment to that effect from GRA. Thank you.
Thank you. Can the auditors confirm what he has just put up? Thank you.
Honorable Chair, the amount of 1,445,826 cedis has been remitted to the GRA fully. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm done. They said it has all been paid.
It's all been paid.
2023, 1.7 has been paid, left with 1.5, for which we have gone to terms with GRA, and we are paying every month. But for 2022, all has been paid.
Chairman, thank you very much. A quick follow-up on that. You said the reason that was given was as a reason of cash flow.
Yeah, cash flow.
In 2023 and 2022.
Yes.
But if you look at your statement of financial performance, you recorded surpluses in there. So why couldn't you pay? You have surplus over 2.7. So why couldn't you pay that amount that you withheld to GRA rather than say it was because of cash flow? Because this shows clearly that you weren't cash strapped for you not to be able to pay at that time. So the reason of cash flow for me sounds a bit facile for me.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, respectfully, as I said, that was the reason given then. But currently, we've settled everything, respectfully.
I said you are still in negotiation with the GRA to pay some differences that you've not paid.
No, the current administration, the debt, you see, as an administrator, you inherit both assets and liabilities. So now the new administrator and the finance department went to GRA for negotiation, and we have paid the 2022 all, although the reason then was due to cash issues. But now we've paid all, and the 2023 own, we've paid 1.7 out of 3.2. and left with 1.5, and we are still paying. Even this month, even last week, we've paid. So now what we are doing is that we pay the old debt and pay the current one as well. And the agreement is up to 2026. Then we finish paying all the outstandings. Thank you.
Sir, let's slow down.
Okay.
You owe taxes. You have withheld taxes of 1.4 million. Was that money yours?
No, sir.
Was it part of your revenue?
No, sir.
Where was the money supposed to go?
I've gone to the government, sir.
Have you paid the money?
Yes, sir.
What about 2023?
We've paid 1.7, left 1.5, sir.
You paid how much?
1.7 out of 3.2, left 1.5, and we are still paying, sir.
You collected the taxes, right?
Yes, sir.
And that money wasn't yours?
Yes, sir.
Why couldn't you give it straight to GRA?
Yes, sir.
Why couldn't you do that? You deducted it from workers and other people, right?
No, this is withholding, sir.
Huh?
This withholding, sir. But we are still
withholdings from the wings?
No, not wings, sir. Suppliers, contractors, sir.
Contractors?
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you pay to GRA?
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I am very happy about this exercise and the situation where we withhold taxes from vendors, suppliers, and others and fail to pay promptly. Flouts our laws, and it is important that our agencies sit up and pay to GRA promptly when they withhold. However, the explanation he's giving is that subsequent to the auditors flagging this, the current administration has taken steps to pay all those legacy debt withholding tax that were due. And they've been able to clear that of 2022 and have paid part of what was due for 2023. And so what they are doing currently is that monthly they pay what is due in that month and defray part of the outstanding debt. So they have gone to GRA to enter into an arrangement for them to be able to clear all those outstanding debt. But I'm very happy that you are taking this exercise, and it should go as a lesson to all withholding agents that when you withhold taxes, they are not yours. You have to remit them promptly. You have to pay them promptly to the Revenue Authority. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. So do we owe anything in 2024? Yes, sir, 2024.
As at now, no, sir.
I'm sorry?
We don't. 2025.
I'm talking about 2024.
2024, we don't owe, sir.
But you owed in 2022, which you paid. 2023, you've paid part of it. 2024, you sure you don't owe any taxes?
No, sir.
How is that possible?
No, but that.
When did you come to office? No.
Mr. Chair, I'm told it's possible, and others are saying it's not possible. So I don't know which of the possibles we are referring to. However, I think it's possible. He just needs to tell us how, what he has done to ensure that. Are you listening? Honorable Witness, are you listening? You see, Honorable Abina says it's possible. I'm also saying it's not possible. But she's the chair. So I want to go with her.
Honorable, just to correct you, Honorable, I'm the chair right now.
My apologies, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Chair.
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, we will have to
Honorable
verify.
Minister, can I land?
No, I want to respond to that.
May I land? May I land? I'm on the floor, respectfully. Thank you. So he says that they are not owing. Now, we agree that that is possible, but could he tell us what he has done to ensure that that issue of withholding is expeditiously paid to GRA such that you don't have that liability. Tell us what you've done, and we may commend you for it. If you haven't done so too, please don't tell us untruth if you haven't done that.
Mr. Chairman, he would respond to the part that requires the assurance or what they are doing differently now. But I want to say that we do not have the 2024 audited accounts with us here. What we were invited for were on 2022 and 2023. So we don't want to say for certainty what we are not sure about. We can verify the withholding tax situation for 2024 and revert to you. But on the part of what they are doing currently, I would want him to respond to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Let's go to the next one. The infraction is on paragraph 540, and Honorable Alex will take care of that one.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. That shows
I'm not there yet.
That shows I'm a member of Parliament.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this has to do with unremitted withholding taxes amounting to 3,284,008 cedis. Management deducted the withholding tax, totaling such amount from payments to various suppliers and vendors from goods, services, works, rent, but has failed to remit same to the GRA. The auditors saw this and they have recommended that you make sure you pay that withholding tax back to GRA and proof with evidence. Can I get the evidence now?
Mr. Chairman, I think this question my Director of Finance has already given a response to. But if it is the evidence, we have it here.
Can the auditors prove it? Let them verify.
Honorable Chair, per our verification, they had paid 1,420,975.71. But they have indeed indicated to us that they have made further payments. So we have asked that they provide the documents to us to confirm.
Okay, so.
Mr. CEO, the further payment that you have made, in addition to the 1 million plus, is it up to the 3 million plus?
Not exactly. We have made payments amounting to about 1.7 million out of the 3 million plus. But we have structured arrangement with GRE to pay all the arrears over time. And we are continuously paying month in, month out.
From the chairman, does that money belong to you?
It does not.
So what measures are you putting in place to forestall such a situation in the very near future?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, that is why we have taken the steps to ensure that not only are we paying the arrears, but we are constantly paying what is due currently.
Mr. Chairman, yes, they are not only paying the money, but they are also making sure that henceforth they will pay as and when they deduct.
Thank you. I mean, the law is for you to pay within 15 days, right? 15 days. All right, so Honorable question.
Chairman, thank you. Chairman, I would like to seek for some clarity and guidance with the assistance of the auditors. Auditors, we are looking at two different infractions. The first one appears on paragraph 535. And the second one also appears on paragraph 540. Both are in respect of unremitted withhold taxes. The first one is 1,445,826. The other one on paragraph 540 is for 3,284,008 Ghana cedis. From the discussions and the conversation, all rested on the 3 million. That is why they said they've paid about 1.7 with a remainder of about 1.2 that they are negotiating with the auditors, with the GRA. That was for when we were having the discussion. So must I take it that the first infraction with the tall list of individuals here is inclusive of the table and type of tax as under services, where we have 2.5 million, such that then the figure would rise above the 3.2 if it's not inclusive to about 5 million. But if it's inclusive, then it will still remain the second infraction that you stated under paragraph 540, and 535 will not hold.
Honorable Chair, the first one, paragraph 535, with the amount of 1,445,000, that has been fully remitted to the GRA. It's in respect of 2022. Then you have the 3.284, which is also a separate infraction on unremitted taxes. That is what we indicated, that out of that, per the last verification we did, they had paid 1,420,975.71. But they have indeed indicated to us that further payments have been made, raising the entire amount to 1.7 million. So we would have to confirm the additional payment that they have made.
Now there's a clarity on it. So it means the 1 million has fully been retired.
Yes.
Then we move on to the 3 million.
Yes.
That did not come directly from them. They kept addressing the 3 million instead of also addressing the 1.4. So now there's clarity on that. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, I'm happy there is clarity, but they did explain that the same sin was committed in 2022 and repeated in 2023. The 2022 infraction related to the same infraction was the 1.4. That one, they said they've paid in full. But when it comes to 2023 infraction on the same subject, they have paid part and are in an arrangement with GRA to pay the rest. So the confusion is the same because it's the same infraction. Thank you.
So I just want to ask the account and the finance office, the seniors, are they still there?
Honorable Chair, no, they are not there. Yes, Honorable Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, national lotteries, you are discharged. Now
Thank
let's
you,
go
Honorable
Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. They are not here. What about Internal Audit Agency? Could you please introduce yourself to the committee?
Mr. Chair, please, good afternoon. My name is Thomas Ni Ashale Thompson Ayi. I'm the Acting Director General of the Internal Audit Agency.
Honorable, my name is Bismarck Abobi Aite. I'm the Deputy Director General, Acting, in charge of Finance Administration and Support Services. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We are Internal Audit Agency. We'll be looking at your financial performance, and that's what we have. And Honorable Shirley Chair will take care of that one.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Looking at your financial statement, you recorded a deficit of 652,100 1.14 Ghana cedis, as compared to the previous year when you had a surplus of over 2 million. Could you let us know how this came about?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The deficit recorded in 2023 was mainly due to shortfalls in GOG subventions, as they released in 2023. In 2022, the agency received CAPEX release of 3080285, which contributed to the higher income level and surplus recorded that year. However, no such release was received in 2023. Additionally, while the conference fees contributed significantly to other incomes in 2022, in 2023, the annual conference was solely sponsored by the GIZ, and the GIZ did everything at their office. The agency did not receive any monies from GIZ, neither were there any expenditure at the end of the agency. Consequently, the agency could not record the full sponsorship inflows due to the absence of supporting documentation from the GIZ. Despite the revenue shortfalls, I may say that the agency really maintained a prudent expenditure management measures, resulting in a reduction of 19.8 in the total expenditure as compared to 2022.
Thank you. So, looking at your statements of financial performance, your other income has also declined. You had over 3 million in 2022, but in 2023 you only had 1.1 million, just a little over 1 million. What constitutes your other income?
The other income at the level of the agency has to do with IGF in connection with trainings and then conference that we normally organize as a flagship program. In 2022, when we met the Finance Committee of Parliament, we were directed that we must obtain some form of a backing in terms of having we identify under the Retention Act. So we're asked to stop collecting fees with regard to trainings and the conferences, of which we did in 2024. So definitely in 2023, we did not get any IGF out of our conferences and trainings.
Okay. So your goods and services, it also increased in 2023. So if you didn't receive your subvention, but your goods and services increased, why did you increase your goods and services that year?
In 2023, please let's look at it again. In 2023,
Madam Chair, can you please repeat the question? I think I didn't get it clearly.
So the question is, you rely on government subvention, and I don't know why you would spend what you don't have. You didn't get your subventions in 2023, yet
yes,
you increased your goods and services, and I'm asking why you took that decision.
So the goods and services are basically released at that time we're under the office of the president. It's basically released at the level of the office of the president. In 2022, we had an increase in the income basically because of the revenue of IGF that we collected. In 2023, it was basically the goods and services that came in without the IGF. Yes. 2022, it's expenditure.
You know, I'm still not clear on your answer. Can you come again? Because your IGF that you are referring to, I don't know if you've looked at the figures. You had 800 in 2022. You had 896.197, but you went to 1.4 in 2023. If you are referring to IGF, I don't know what you mean by that.
Madam Chair, I think the honourable member is looking at expenditure. The 896,000 was what they spent in 2022, and they increased the expenditure to 1.4 million in 20. So you want to know why they increased the expenditure even though they did not have enough. Thank you.
So, Chairman, it basically has to do with the fact that we're using the accrual approach. So expenses that came in were accrued. So when we please get into the balance sheet, you realize that we have accrued expenses just to cover that. So it wasn't actual expenditure that came in. It has to do with the accrual method that we were using.
Sir, please, in the accrual method, what happened?
We accrued the expenses.
Isn't it the same thing? It's the same thing. You are just using a terminology. It's the same thing. You spent. So don't hide, under the accrual method. You spent. You spent money you didn't have. And then you accrued and you used the ensuing year's revenue to pay for it. Isn't that the case? Is that not the case? If it's not, just say it's not. If it is, you say it is. And don't hide under terminologies, accrual method. But what she's saying is right. You accrued, and then when you, in the ensuing year, you used the money to pay. And that's how come your goods and services went up. Please, is that not the case?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So give her the reason why. She's asking why it's gone up. Maybe you did A, B, and C different from what you did in 2022. That's what she wants.
Are you done?
I'm not done. He's not responded, so I'm waiting for his response to continue.
Madam, please. Honorable, please.
Please. Please.
So, we are very mindful of the section 25 of the PFM Act, that we must not spend more than the cash releases. And I'm sure it should be part of the discussion now. We received the subventions and then we spent, and I'm sure it has to do with expenses we have made that we will be accruing in the following year.
Okay, so your income also decreased by 41.2%. Can you tell the committee what you are doing to generate more IGF? Because you can't rely on government alone. So can you let us know what you are doing for you to be able to get other income apart from relying on government subvention?
So like I stated earlier, we weren't factored into the Retention Act. So we applied and then it was approved, and Parliament actually granted us the retention. So currently, we have been included in the Retention Act, of which we use our conferences and training programs to supplement the GOGs that we received.
So I've looked at your statement of financial position, and your current ratio, even though it's declined, the auditors think that you are still capable of meeting your short-term financial obligations. Is that a case?
Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Internal Audit Agency. I'm sure you are the supervisors of all the internal auditors in the country. And you are trying to use accounting terms to, I don't want to say deceive, but I don't want to say, I'm saying reluctantly. They are tricking us. So, let's go back to the expenditure column, the financial performance. I'm seeing compensation of employees. Even though there's a marginal, it declined marginally. Have your staff, have some of them resigned, or have you laid some of them off, or what? What accounted for that?
I'm very happy that this question has been asked. The condition of service for internal auditors, and for that matter, the internal audit agency, should be looked at again. As we speak, the staff at the level of the internal audit agency are on the low of the single spine salary structure. And if you are supervising institutions and the staff doing that are on low of the single spine salary structure, we need to take a second look at it. As and when, like Professor Pesawai said, because we interface with other institutions, when your staff moved to another institution, then the institution will grab the staff because you can't afford. As I speak with you, Parliament has also poached the staff of the internal audit agency. Yes, staff will move on, but we expect that when the condition of service is good, you'll be able to maintain your staff because there's enough training and capacity building we are giving to staff, and government is spending much on that. As we speak, we have just 51 staff at the level of the internal audit agency, yet we are supervising over 369 institutions. How pleased that we look at the condition of service again.
Minister, I think you are right here, and you've heard. But I remember we began something, and we wanted them to go through their law to make that happen, and they refused. They packaged some conditions of service and brought to us, but at that time, we felt, one, it should be unique to them, so you don't open it up for other agencies that want to be out of the single spine to also use that same route, because they are unique and they offer unique services. So then they should come under their law, and they just did not want to do it. So, Minister, I'm sure you've heard him, and I know you do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. But because this response came from SIGA and also from them, I just want to explain something, and you understand this better, that normally when staff leave an institution, they don't have the authority to automatically replace them. They need financial clearance to do so. And sometimes it takes quite some time to be able to get a clearance for them to replace staff. So when there is that attrition, you see that it takes time for the replacement, for the salary, the compensation to come at par with what happened in the previous years. So we are reviewing the staff requirements for many of these agencies. They've brought their requirements for the need to replace and also in some cases recruit additional staff. And once that rationalization is done properly, we'll grant financial clearance, and then they'll be able to recruit. And so that is why mid-year, when maybe staff leave or some retire, you see that it kind of reflects in the global sum for compensation. Thank you, Chairman.
Madam, you used the phrase that we did something with internal audit agency. That we, what we are you describing? Was it Parliament? Was it public accounts?
Thank you very much. The reason why you are sitting and chairing this is because in the previous government, I was part of it. So when I say we, I believe you really understand that I was at the Ministry of Finance. And you heard the minister also say that you will understand I was at the Ministry of Finance and we worked together with them. And that is what I mean by we. Thank you. Minister, thank you, but you didn't address the second one, the conditions of service.
Yes, Madam Chair, that is also something that the Fair Wages and Salary Commission is working on. And as you said, when you grant something to one agency, you have to be careful that it does not spark demands from other agencies. Some agencies have their peculiar working condition that require some sort of remuneration, but in all these, you have to situate it in the whole salary architecture so that it does not create an impression that one agency is being given preferential treatment, and it doesn't also lead to agitation that will put a lot of pressure on government. And so these things will be looked at holistically. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, Internal Audit Agency, you are discharged. Now, I'm calling Financial Intelligence Center. Are you here? Madam, did you take the oath? Yes. Okay. Please introduce yourself to the committee.
Sorry. Pearl Kobina from FIC.
Pearl, are you alone?
Yes, please.
Oh, why? You're a Lone Ranger, eh? Lone Ranger.
No. Actually, I didn't know you'll be called.
Oh, you didn't know you?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Please.
Okay. But your minister is here, so I mean you are in safe hands, and the Evergreen Chief Director.
Thank you, Chair. FIC, we'll start with your financial performance before we move on to the financial position. I'll start off with your revenue. Can you run us through what constitutes your revenue?
Hello, sir. So it's basically from Ministry of Finance, that's GOG. Yes,
exactly, because I see here that for 2023, there was a decrease in government subvention by almost about 38%. So I'm wondering how you were able to deal with your goods and services and all the other expenditures with that reduction. Do you know why there was that reduction?
Yes, please, because of the decrease in government subvention.
Was there a particular reason for that?
No.
Minister can help you on that. Because for 2022, you had 5.8, then 2023, 3.5. So that was very significant. So, yeah, if there was a particular reason for that.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I suspect that it was probably because of the performance of revenue. I do not know exactly why the allocation to them, the release to them went down. We'll have to look into the budget and see if the allocation, the budgetary allocation even went up. But sometimes there is disparity between budget allocation and actual releases. And it depends on compelling issues and what the Ministry of Finance feel they should channel the meager resources to. But I want to say that apart from government subvention, it has come to our attention that FIC, they get other revenues.
That's where I'm going to come to, okay. But then we can leave it at that.
Okay,
yes.
They get other revenues. And so if a finance minister realizes that they are getting so much from another source other than, then you may want to cut down a little on this if they are able to utilize what they receive to perform their functions. Thank you.
Honorable Deputy, why worry yourself? On this table, you don't suspect. Your former is here. You just could have traded seats with her to answer for you so you don't suspect. And you are worrying yourself. She's here.
Minister, as for trading seats, I don't want that to happen in the next 20, 30 years. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then to the next revenue line, which Minister talked about, the other income. It went up by about 2.4%. Do you know what constitutes the other income for FIC?
Yes, please. We had support from GRA.
Okay, that's well understood. Then for compensation, I think there is a similar trend here, just as internal audits. I want to know why there was that small decline in compensation of employees. Was it due to employee turnover or what?
Yes, we had some of our people resigning.
Goods and services, you did good on that. There was a reduction this time around. But then the overall bottom line was a decline in your surplus by almost about 37%. But that is explained by the reduction in government subvention. Yeah, so we go on to the financial position. Over here, I see you have huge current assets. 2022, you had similar. 2023, you had similar. 2023 was even an increase from 6.9 to about 7.5. What is your cash management system there? Is it that you are keeping all these monies in your bank account and not using them? What are you using these cash for?
So, as I mentioned, we had support from GRA. Then we were acquiring a software which we've not fully paid for.
Madam, that is a non-current asset. I'm talking about your current assets. Because,
okay.
Yes. I know you acquired a software that increased your non-current asset, but I'm talking about your current asset because for 2 consistent years, you have a lot of balances in there. That's what I want to understand.
So those were inflows from Bank of Ghana. The cash balances.
No. I asked about cash management, okay? You have a lot of money sitting in your bank account. As an institution, what do you use it for? Is it that it's underutilized? Because there are several things you can do with your cash balances. And you cannot have a lot of money sitting in your bank account when you are an institution that needs more revenue. Okay, so that's...
Mr. Chairman, that is a very good question. And sometimes it also depends on when they receive those funds. Sometimes they get support from GRA, and because of the nature of their work, they get some significant support from the Bank of Ghana. Sometimes, the Bank of Ghana will require them to do some financial intelligence work for them, and they will support them. And because of the audit cycle, sometimes they receive these funds, and then auditors are here to audit, and they check. So it is difficult to check some of these things. I agree with you. They should not be having a lot of funds sitting in their accounts. That is why we want to implement the Treasury single account properly and sweep accounts for agencies that don't have use for their monies. Because we cannot have money sitting in a lot of accounts when government needs money to work. But that is on a different subject. So, Chairman, thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. So that explains why your current ratio for both years, for 2022, 7.6 to 1, then 2023, 8.5 to 1. And what, as Minister said, we'll need to look at ways of helping these institutions improve because you cannot have... So the current ratio, at least 2 to 1 is fine, but then to go over 7 and 8, I think that we just need to apply some cash management strategies that would help build these institutions. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Financial Intelligence Center. You are discharged. Now let's call Cocoa Board.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, have you taken the oath already? Okay, could you, Clark, if you could, but where is your CEO?
Mr. Chairman, they called me that they are currently out of their jurisdiction for a board meeting for one of their subsidiaries, so they are not available.
Sir, which subsidiary of Cocoa Board holds meetings out of the jurisdiction?
CMC UK. UK, yes. So they are in London. Thank you.
Swear by the Almighty God.
Swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, please introduce yourself to the committee, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Dr. Francis Mann, Deputy CEO, Agronomy and Quality Control.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is James Kofi Kutuati, Deputy Chief Executive in charge of Operations.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Daniel Jaban, Acting Director of Finance.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Michael Nyama, Acting Director of Audit.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Dr. Isaac Mienu, Acting Director, Research, Monitoring and Evaluation.
Okay, your infraction is on paragraph 797. Honorable Alaji Bawa will take care of that one, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Cocoa Board, your infraction relates to an earned salary. 2 staff of yours, of the Cocoa Health and Extension Division, Kumasi, who separated from the board during the year under review were paid an earned salary totaling 25,716.37 Ghana cedis. And there's a table here. You have one Maxwell Amwakufojo, an assistant technical officer who vacated post, and was paid an earned salary of 15,820, and another 7 Andura, also an assistant technical officer who resigned from Cocoa Board, was also paid an earned salary of 9,895.68 Ghana cedis, totaling 25,716. So the recommendation was that you should recover these unearned salaries from the affected former staff, failing which the total amount should be recovered from the head of HR and same paid into the Auditor General's recoveries account at the Bank of Ghana. Can you tell us the status of this recommendation of the Auditor General?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, we are happy to indicate that the audit recommendations have been carried out. The amounts have been recovered and paid accordingly. And we have shown the documents to the auditors.
Auditor General, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that the amount has been fully recovered.
Mr. Chairman, the amount has been paid.
Thank you very much. Cocoa Board, you are discharged.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, are we also discharged?
Yes, Honorable
Thank
Minister. Thank you so much for coming in.
Honorable Minister, you appear again on the 4th. We sent that letter, and in that subsequent appearance, you have to come with National Insurance Commission, National Development Planning Commission, and the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. So respectfully communicated to you. Thank you.
Which agency is left now? I'm sorry?
Last is there. The authorities also there.
Thank you very much. And the other agencies that are here, unfortunately, your ministers are not here. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources was here, but he says for some reason he's had to go and attend to other equally important things. On Friday, we are meeting Ministry of Environment. The minister also is the acting Minister for Environment. So on Friday, we'll take the Lands Commission and all the others who we couldn't take today. And Ministry of Agri, we are also meeting you on the the performance audits. And so you come, the grains and legumes and irrigation will come with them, with your ministers. The reason why we ask for ministers is that there are some that has to do with the principal spending officer, and then some that has also to do with the policy makers. And the ministers or deputy ministers have that opportunity, and so we should allow them to come. And so on this note, we'd like to bring today's meeting to an end and thank everybody who made it possible for us to do this. Thank you.